Good morning and welcome to the St. Narsai Assyrian Christian College podcast. My name is Mira Buttress and I'm joined here today with Peter, James and Mr. Frank Carbone. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Carbone.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here at the school and I look forward to the interview.
Today we'll be discussing a topic that impacts all members of our community and in particular the St. Narsai community, and it's about road safety.
In simple terms, road safety refers to the methods and measures for reducing risk of a person using the road. Everyone has a significant role that contributes to the safety of all people using the roads. We're joined today by Mr. Frank Carbone, the Fairfield City Mayor. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. And Fairfield City has 700 kilometres of road. It's quite a large city, 210,000 people that live in the city, and you can imagine how there's so many more cars on the roads these days, where many years ago there would be one car per family. These days there's two or three, so that adds to the congestion and to the issues, and it's I think it's something that we all need to take responsibility, whether it's a council or people that drive the road. As a community, we all need to be responsible for it and do what we can to make our city a safer place.
We would like to share some background information with you, Mr. Carbone, and to our listeners as to why this topic is so near to our hearts. In 2016, at St. Narsai Assyrian Christian College, we experienced a fatal tragedy whereby one of our Year 12 students was involved in a fatal car accident. This event has caused major trauma for peers, staff, and the entire school community. The college community is still impacted to this day, and as a result, we would like to take this opportunity to hear from you as to what is currently happening within the Fairfield City that promotes safe driving.
First of all, it's always very difficult when someone passes away, and it's such a tragedy. No doubt the family, the communities, and like you said at the school, it's something that stays in our hearts forever. We never forget, and any life that's lost is one life too many. And I think that we all want to work towards making not just Fairfield safer, but all roads, because people ultimately travel from different places. We don't just stay in our city. But council is committed. We've spent a lot of money on upgrading roads. Many of you would know Smithwood Road's been upgraded $12 million. We spend another $12 million upgrading and maintaining our road network. It's a very large road network with 700 kilometres. Council also, of course, when it comes to lighting and also line marking, and also putting in place what we have got these days with council. We don't actually look after speed cameras, but what the council does do is it's a program that I initiated for road safety. We actually put some speed signs up, and they actually smile. I don't know if you've seen them when you drive past, and they'll frown, and they'll smile if you're doing the right speed limit, and they'll frown if you're not doing the right speed limit. That's just about bringing awareness, but we don't fine people because we can't as a council. That's left up to other organisations. But look, council does a lot. We do a lot of investment. We also do roundabouts, speed humps, and much more.
Through this podcast here, we hope to help spread awareness for driver and pedestrian safety.
As we drive around our roads, we can see multiple factors that establish a sense of safety. This includes speed cameras, safety cameras, pedestrian crossing, as well as flashing school zone signs.
What interventions has the Fairfield Council developed to ensure road safety is also considered at night, Mr. Carbone?
Yes, well, obviously at night it's always more dangerous, but I think one of the big issues that impacts driver safety is people speeding, or not concentrating, or being on the phone when people are driving. But of course, we have a responsibility to make the road as safe as possible, and we do that. We put on reflective line markings, rumble lines as well, that will wake people up if they hit those lines in case they're falling asleep. Obviously, we try and improve the lighting, but it's not easy to improve the lighting everywhere. But obviously, cars have their own lights. But we, especially around schools, we have the 40-kilometre road limit, and that has worked a lot in reducing pedestrian safety, in particular for students of those schools.
Mr. Carbone, in your article, Keeping Our Roads Safe, it is stated that ensuring residents have safe roads to drive on is a top priority of the council. How does Fairfield City Council provide safe roads, and can you provide some example of any repaired roads or any intersections?
Like I said, we spent $12 million this year alone. We're spending on fixing the roads, fixing the potholes, building roundabouts, lobbying Transport for New South Wales, because council doesn't put the traffic lights in, to make sure that we put as many traffic lights as we can. We also have funding through a black spot program. What the black spot program does, it identifies roads in areas where there are multiple fatalities or a lot of accidents, and that funding is fast tracked. The money is being put into those areas. Obviously, as I talked earlier, we do speed humps as well and chicanes, traffic calming devices. We also provide vouchers for newborns, for families, because it's not just about the road, it's also about making sure those in the cars are safe. So we provide free vouchers for child restraints for newborn kids as well. So there's a multitude of things that we do, including obviously bringing awareness to it through communication. But ultimately, we all have a role to play. Cars are very dangerous things, they can be, and we take it for granted, and we need to make sure that when we're behind the wheel, we are alert, we're not on our phones, and make sure that we're not speeding, because ultimately that is what will help and assist bringing making sure that we don't have any more tragedies in our city.
In another article titled Back to School Safety, it is stated that mobile speed radars will be used near schools to improve road safety. In your opinion, how does the implementation of speed radars with no warning to drivers reduce risk?
Yeah, I don't like that. I actually think that there should be a warning to drivers. It shouldn't be about money, it should be about lives. And I think anything that you can do to warn a driver or encourage a driver to slow down is a good thing. So that's something that's done by the state government, but I don't like that. I think that they should make drivers aware where the speed cameras are, to make sure that drivers do slow down. So look, it does work, but it shouldn't be used as a revenue raising tool, because ultimately lives come before anything else, and I think that's a priority.
In your time as the Fairfield City Mayor, would you say that there's been a decrease in road trauma within our community?
Yeah, well, I've got some statistics, and they're right here in front of me, because there's too many to memorise, even for me as the mayor. And the good news is that if it comes to serious injuries, moderate injuries, or minor injuries, there's been a big reduction. Overall, since 2015, there were 805 injuries sustained on our roads on that year. The latest figures we got, which is 2019, there has been almost a 50% reduction, which is about 494. That's 494 too many, of course, but that's where I think that there needs to be more campaigns about driver awareness. There's no doubt that most of the incidents happen when people are speeding, on their phones, or get distracted. Everyone knows how to drive, but we all need to drive safely. So the good news is that the amount of serious and minor injuries are down. Unfortunately, the deaths haven't changed. We continue to have between 5 and 8 people dying on our local roads every single year, and that's 5 and 8 too many. And of course, when we identify if it's a matter for the road to be upgraded, the council will always spend the money in upgrading that. But a lot of that's also driver related, to make sure that they're either speeding or not paying attention.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Carbone?
No, only that, look, it's there's no doubt that people use their cars a lot more today than what they would have 20 years ago. We have more cars on our road, and we all live busy lives. So we all try and get to places as quick as what we can. A vehicle, but we need to understand too that a vehicle can also be a very dangerous object, because obviously when things go wrong, it can cause fatalities. As a council, we're going to continue to invest in roads. Roads are really important to us. That's why I said $12 million on roads. We upgraded Smithfield Road. That's been like that for decades. And we said, no, we need to do it. And it's been done, and you can see the big difference as well. Also, Wetherill Street, we made a major upgrade. That was $14 million. That was before. So we're spending the money. But I guess the message to everybody is, look, drive carefully, and just be aware. And if we all do that, hopefully we can save someone's life. And also, I just want to say a big thank you to your school for also talking about this important subject. Many of your students will be, once they leave school, or even towards the later terms of their school, will be getting their licenses. And I think driver awareness campaigns are really important, because, to make our city and our streets safer, I think we just need to be aware of the impacts. And so well done to all of you for doing this.
Thank you.
This concludes our Q&A podcast. Thank you, Mr. Carbone, for joining us and answering all our questions.
You're welcome anytime.
I hope we informed you about road safety and explained why it is so crucial to all individuals in our community, state and country. Remember, it is a privilege to be on the roads, so please remain responsible and follow the road rules.
Thank you for tuning in. God bless.
God bless everyone.